Good morning, everyone, and good evening to the people who are in the US. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by USISC, US chapter on business opportunities in the United States. I am Masihullah Bangarwala, part of HK Acharya and Company, and I shall be the moderator for this webinar. Your active participation is very important throughout the session. Right now, I have everyone on mute to avoid the background noises that may distract you from listening to this webinar. USA is a vast country with plenty of opportunities for everyone. It has a capacity and the space to absorb investors in great numbers and provide ample opportunity to develop and prosper. Indians with their inherent entrepreneurship skills and business skills will definitely find the United States to be a land full of opportunities and to their liking. They have already flourished and have been contributing greatly to the US economy. This webinar is especially for those who are contemplating investing and starting their enterprise in the US. Hope this webinar will be serving their purpose to the fullest. Now I'd like to commence this webinar of business opportunities in the United States. And now I take this opportunity to welcome Mr. R.K. Pillai, Chairman and Founder Director of USISC. He's also the Managing Director of AIIP L-Tech Private Limited, a leading instrumentation company in India, which is an associate company of AIMIL. He's working with AIML for the last 30 years. He has a degree of BTech in Electronics and Telecommunications from NIT, Surathkal. He is associated with various business partners from USA, Europe, Japan in the field of instrumentation and is the founder director of USISC. I would request Mr. Pillai for his welcome speech.
A very good morning to all of you all, and especially Madam Bela Talwalkar, Acharya sir, and Padman Bok and Bhaskar. I really appreciate it, and thank you, Masala, for the good introduction. Is my voice clear?
That's right. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's the first thing. It is important. Is the voice should be clear. And to straight away to tell you that USISC has been a backbone of a lot of sort of companies and individuals. And our main thrust of USISC has been to build the gap between, in every form, between USA and India. Wherever we can bridge the gap, even though there is a time difference of, in some parts it's about 12 hours, some parts it's about 8 hours. Our main focus is we work on the same platform with no time difference in the minds. Especially there is no time difference in the minds, and that's an important thing. And I remember my past, I've been associated with the US people, companies, culture for more than 3 decades. So I have grown through those, the differentiation of, for them, when it was day, it was night for us, it was night, it was day. And with the current communication and the feeling and the openness in the heart and mind, I would say that we are on the threshold of the best opportunity for everything between US and India. And the topic which Acharya sir has selected, business opportunities in United States, I personally feel that there is no other topic in today's context, anything bigger and important than opportunities in the United States, especially for India. If you ask me, you can, all the other things you can keep it, but this will be right on top of the pyramid. So you're holding the flag right on top, and with the current change in the US government, and like as a businessman, if I have something to do with the US associated, if I know the people, if I know the company, if I'm using a product, my value increases. I'm sure all of you must be on the same platform that when we are associated in any form with a company, with an individual, with the culture of US, our value increases. And with this, and with the networking which USISC brings to you, both for the Americans to come to India and the Indians to go to America, we are there for everything. Let it be any industry, let it be any individual, we can support you. And the people available in USISC are expertise in every field. Recently we got an association with an hotelier who is a big man in hotelier. We got, trade, we got medical, we got engineering, we got Acharya for the IPR. There are different forms. So if anybody needs any assistance, both from USA to India and India to USA, our arms are open. And with the relationship what we have with US Council in both in Delhi and Bombay, I can tell you that the platform is ready. The red carpet is laid for business opportunities. With this, I would wish all the best for the speakers, and let us take this few hours next to the best possible for business opportunities in United States. Thank you, and over to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for being here with us and briefing us on the topic. Now, on behalf of the USIAC US chapter, it's my pleasure to invite our distinguished speakers. I welcome Dr. Bela Talwar, Chair of USIAC US chapter. Dr. Talwar has 3 master degrees and a PhD in marketing and finance. Dr. Talwar was asked to present a case study before export of technology and equipment for USA to India, and was appointed as a partner with the First National Bank of New England, working in affiliation with with Import and Export Bank of United States. She promoted some futuristic companies like export-import organizations that took care of exports and essential commodities to African markets. She's the first lady entrepreneur to start a concept of chain stores in the Indian market by importing foreign luxury products to India. She has been on the panel of reputed organizations and banks like Industrial Development Bank of India, Chambers of Commerce and Trade, and Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. At present, she is the president of a reputed global IP law firm and heading the IP commercialization. With this background and the experience of 26 years in global trade, she has been appointed as the chair of USIAC US chapter. I would now request Dr. Talwar to give her speech.
Thank you so very much for your kind introduction. It's always a pleasure. You make me feel good about, and the topic which is given today is a topic which is futuristic, which is going to be the topic for the days to come. And give me 1 minute, I'll just put this slide. All right. With this, I would like to first begin with, when we talk about investment opportunities in United States, let's understand the basic fundamental when we talk about why United States, like Mr. Pillai just now mentioned this line, which was a very, which rather would be a punchline, the opportunities in United States. Why US is called the country of opportunities. With this, I would like to have a small little history of United States when the word opportunity started. By the way, मुझे ये भी कहा गया है कि मैं कुछ हिंदी में भी बोलूं, और मैं पूरी कोशिश करूंगी कि बीच-बीच में हिंदी में भी आपको बताने की कोशिश करूं जहां हो सकेगा, और अगर नाकामयाब हो पाई तो मुझे प्लीज माफी चाहूंगी. So with that, when we talk about the background, जब हम हिस्ट्री की बात करते हैं यूएस की, तो जब डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस लिखा गया, which was 4 जुलाई 1776, यानी कि 245 साल पहले, तो उसमें जो स्लोगन था, जो नारा था, उसको कहा जाता था लाइफ, लिबर्टी एंड द परसूट ऑफ हैप्पीनेस. अब इसका मतलब ये था कि हर एक इंसान को इन यूएस आजादी के साथ, अपनी खुशी के साथ जीने का हक है. इसके साथ द एक्ट ऑफ इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज आया, और उसमें उसको पूरी तरह इंप्लीमेंट करते हुए यूएस गवर्नमेंट ने हर एक को ये हक दिया कि वो अपनी टैलेंट को पूरी तरह से निखार के बाहर लाए, एंड विद दैट दे कैन ब्रिंग द बेस्ट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज टुगेदर. One more important aspect has to be understood here, that US is the country of immigrants. ये एक ऐसा एकमात्र देश है जहां दुनिया जहान से लोग आते हैं और अपनी अपनी काबिलियत, अपने अपने टैलेंट को बाहर लाते हैं और यहाँ की गवर्नमेंट उनको पूरा सपोर्ट करती है. That is the reason why there is that the freedom of life and the freedom of shaping up their dreams into reality comes out. And this is how the opportunities have kept on coming. And because the policy of the government is such, they keep welcoming the immigrants and the worldwide talent keeps pouring in the country. इसीलिए the opportunities will keep on coming up. इसलिए इस देश को country of opportunities कहा गया है. Now, when we talk about immigrants, let us understand that 15% of the US population is immigrants and 25% of that population is the business people, which means when they come from different country, they have the risk-taking ability. वो risk लेने के लिए तैयार हैं because they have come to do something with their passion. And every person comes with their hidden talent that belongs to themselves. And when they work in the country with the backing given by the government, they produce results. And that is where in US, every year, 1.5 million jobs are given by these immigrants who, whether चाहे वो एक motel हो या चाहे वो gas station हो, चाहे वो call center हो, they are in a position to create jobs by coming to this country. And that is where United States have always welcomed immigrants to be part of their family, to part of their culture. Immigrants को global operators भी कहा जाता है यहाँ because of the fundamental role in fostering international trade and investment. तो इससे ये पता लगता है कि how important it is for US to fulfill the opportunities with the talent that comes from all over the world. One more reason I would like to highlight here why US is also called a powerful nation of the world. 5% of the world's population is in USA, 25% of the world's wealth is in USA, 35% of the world's innovations are here, 40% of the global military spending is there. Out of 2,000 most profitable countries of the world, 600 and plus are in the United States. Or 100 universities, if all over the world there are, over 50 are in the United States. The combination of all these factors bring together to USA as a powerful nation. So this is the crust of the matter which I wanted to highlight it, क्योंकि जो लोग अभी ये वेबिनार देख रहे हैं वो शायद ये सोच रहे हैं कि अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं तो वो क्यों हैं, उसकी थोड़ी सी बैकग्राउंड I wanted to just highlight it. अब हम चलते हैं अपने opportunities of investment की तरफ. With that, I would like to highlight here US-India investment as a bilateral trade. It is observed that already last 20 years, US-India is doing great job together when it comes to trade relations. We are already far ahead in last over 2 decades, where we are growing at so many platforms together positively, wherein the trade that today we are discussing, that area of concentration, it is 146 billion US dollars is to 2019. The exports have been 58.6 billion and the imports 87.7 billion, where the deficit is 28.8 billion, which is favorable to India. When it comes to trade and services, 54.4 billion, and again 24 is billion dollars exports and 29 billion is imports, and again India has a deficit of $5 billion. A point that I would like to highlight here is India is becoming a very strong power when it comes to digital technology. In rupee term, it is seen that 221 billion rupees where it has been in 2019, and it is going to go to 414 billion by 2022. We are looking for $1 trillion economy in GDP. With this, you can imagine the future of digital technology has a very bright future, which also there is lots that US and India will be doing together. अब आगे की slides में आपको बताऊंगी how US and India can do a lot of work together in digital technology. There is a very important point I would like to highlight here. We all in US feel very proud when the government of India used digital cash transfers at the time of stimulus giving to the grassroots level. And that was a point which was very much welcomed by United States and had been a talk of the town. Little concentration on FDIs. If you see the last 20 years, the trend from US to India, the FDIs have been investing to the tune of 45.88 is what the investment had been from US to India. However, from India to US, it has been just $5 billion. So ऐसा नहीं है कि US में invest करने की opportunities नहीं हैं, यहाँ भी opportunities हैं, शायद exposure की थोड़ी कमी है. I would like to highlight that exposure today to make India is a very strong country today, and this exposure probably is needed. मैं थोड़ा सा उस exposure को highlight करने की आज कोशिश करूंगी, so that it's a very macro level beginning. We can go ahead in future interactions to come. A small look at technology trends in India. What is happening in India by and large, especially is यहाँ पर मैं small sector या agriculture sector की बात कर रही हूँ. यहाँ पर it is seen by and large Indian technocrats require upgrading of technology. कई ऐसी small sector industry इंडिया में आज भी हैं जहाँ टेक्नोलॉजी को अपग्रेड नहीं किया जाता on regular basis. There are old 50, 60, 70 years old technologies are still persistent. They need to upgrade these technologies for value additions to get a better price of their merchandise in global market. R&D division by and large are not there in SMEs depending on the market trend. There should be that R&D division which shows कि market trend क्या है और उसके हिसाब से अगर product को develop किया जाए और foreign technologies के साथ catch up किया जाए. US is open for so many such technologies that India needs to really look into it, and we are there to help. We are the country of Ayurveda. These resources are to be implemented. वो हमारे देश में वो कहते हैं ना, वो हनुमान जी संजीवनी बूटी लेके आए थे. तो ये जो Ayurveda है, there are so many such products which are the gold mines, and we have it in India. और मैं चाहती हूँ कि जो हमारी business community है वो इन चीजों को देखे. World is so proud, and the entire US envies the herbal products that India has. Please try to look into it and bring them to the global arena. Use the environment, use the brand equity, try to implement these products into your products and get the value addition. Value addition यानी कि आप अपने product को बढ़ावा दे सकते हैं, उसे global platform पे ले जा सकते हैं, जहां पर आपके product की 100 से 400 गुना profit margins हो सकते हैं. ये they can be vitamin based oil. एक छोटा सा example इस बात को बताने का मैंने इसमें example दिया है. Please have a look at it. ये एक castor oil की एक bottle जो मैंने दिखाने की कोशिश की है. Castor oil जिसे दीवेल कहते हैं, जिसे गुजरात बहुत प्रोड्यूस करता है, and 93% of the global exports is in castor oil. Now, this is a product which has immense herbal and medicinal values. This highlight on the left side, though it is so much written, but in the crux of this whole matter is that it is pure oil, it is good for hair, it is good for dry skin. और एक लाइन जो उसमें जो खास जिसके लिए ऑयल बहुत बिकता है यूएस में, वो है इससे लड़कियों की आई लैशेस जो है वो बहुत जल्दी लंबे होते हैं. अब अमेरिका में अब देखिए छोटी सी चीज है आई लैशेस दैट ग्रोस बिकॉज ऑफ कैस्टर ऑयल. और यकीन मानिए बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ऑयल इज रियली सोल्ड लाइक हॉटकेक बिकॉज people don't need to use artificial eyelashes because it grows with it. ये खाली एक छोटा सा example मैं आपको दिखा रही हूँ. और ये एक bottle जो 400 grams की है वो $14 की बिकती है. So you can imagine the value addition that one can create by using products in a form where you can have this kind of write-up which is not very difficult to achieve. And once you have these kind of products with value addition, there is a lot that one can do with collaborations with American technology by using your raw material, not in the raw form, but creating value addition to it. So this is an example, just an example. So you can have so many products to look into. अब let us look at US technologies in demand. कौन सी technologies हैं जो demand में हो सकती हैं on a very common front. India has a population of 1.3 billion. Only the middle class population of India is a higher population than United States. अब आप सोच सकते हैं कि सबसे ज्यादा buying power जिस population की है वो है middle class, और वो population India की American population से ज्यादा है, या which means it's a very rich component of population where US technologies can be absorbed by that segment. तो उसमें कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स मैंने दिए हैं, यहाँ पर बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, मैंने थोड़े से हाईलाइट किए हैं, लाइक कार वॉश है, लॉन्ड्रोमैट है, आइसक्रीम ट्रक्स है. ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जो यूएस में आम मानी जाती हैं. अब ये चीजें इंडिया में भी आम हो सकती हैं जो जिसकी मार्केट खास है. एक प्रोडक्ट मैं खास हाईलाइट यहाँ करना चाहूंगी, एंड दैट इज पैकेजिंग इंडस्ट्री. माय पर्सनल बिलीफ इज कि इंडियन प्रोडक्ट्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, ग्लोबल प्रोडक्ट्स खासकर ग्लोबली बहुत लाइक किए जाते हैं, बट प्लीज ट्राई टू वर्क ऑन पैकेजिंग इंडस्ट्री. मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप जरूर किसी पैकेजिंग इंडस्ट्री के साथ बात करें यूएस में और उनके साथ कोलैबोरेट करें, बिकॉज उसकी बहुत बड़ी डिमांड इंडिया में आज भी है, और ग्लोबल मार्केट को compete करने के लिए पैकेजिंग इंडस्ट्री एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टूल है. डेटा साइंटिस्ट, जब मैंने डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी की बात की थी, तो डेटा साइंटिस्ट एंड टेक्नोलॉजी यूसेज इज द फ्यूचर. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ collaborations that can be done between US and India on data scientists. मैं इस स्लाइड पे अगर इस वेबिनार में यंग स्टूडेंट्स और यंगस्टर्स भी हैं तो मैं उनको ये कहना चाहूंगी, प्लीज कंसंट्रेट ऑन your personal skills by having a program here in this field that can help you grow globally, like you would belong to a global village because you already have done a great job in digital technology. This is a field where you can collaborate and do a lot of work, especially in the field of hard work, robotics, digital security and drones. ये सब फ्यूचरिस्टिक फील्ड्स हैं, इसमें बहुत काम हो रहा है, एंड देयर इज लॉट ऑफ वर्क यूएस एंड इंडिया कैन डू टुगेदर. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट जो यूएस में आजकल बहुत दिस गिविंग अ लॉट ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस टू द इंडस्ट्री, दैट इज प्रोडक्ट डाइवर्सिफिकेशन एंड एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, स्पेशली पोस्ट पेंडेमिक. इस पॉइंट को मैं हाईलाइट इसलिए करना चाहूंगी कि पोस्ट पेंडेमिक इंडस्ट्री हैज चेंज्ड देन व्हाट इट यूज्ड टू बी अर्ली. The trend has changed. People are starting to work from home. There has been so much health-oriented industry. There's so much of understanding of health consciousness, natural foods, herbs, and things, so long and so forth. There are so many units which are lying unused, under production or capacity utilization in US. And they are diversifying products in different areas. मैं ये बात हाईलाइट करना चाहूंगी उन स्मॉल सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज को जिनके पास बिजनेस आजकल कम है मगर उनके पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है. अगर उस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को आप बेकार नहीं करना चाहते तो आप प्रोडक्ट डाइवर्सिफिकेशन में जा सकते हैं. आप हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, हम आपको आपके एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को ध्यान में रखते हुए कौन से प्रोडक्ट्स की मार्केट आपके पास है, we can have a joint sessions that can take you to use that infrastructure with the new products so that it is not wasted. Global market trend, turmeric oils, face oils, आप जानते हैं आजकल turmeric is in literally every house. You know, there is hardly any person who is not using in any form or the other. So please try and incorporate in your productions, चाहे वो oils हैं, चाहे वो other herbs हैं, उसमें turmeric oils they are using here for facial usage. I don't know if it can come in the edible part, but that is for you to decide. But there is a huge scope for these antioxidants to be incorporated in the production. How to do it technically, whether it's USDA approvals or other approvals, please contact for them so that it reaches the global market. Next is agriculture and pesticide-free vegetables and fruits. Every individual today worldwide is very keen on concentrating on healthy food products, rather it is whether it is vegetables or fruits. We have to work together on this. This is also probably going to be good for the community. This is also going to be good for the people who want to help the next generation. So we should work together. It is so many times the reports come in our US Times that the pesticides have created problem to health of so many people in India. The usage of pesticide to the degree, and to use the healthy pesticide or to have pesticide free vegetable and fruit is another technology. Please think about concentrating. Another area which India needs to concentrate is the entertainment industry. It's very surprising. India has a very large coastal line, and unfortunately, we don't have very many international level entertainment projects or projects when it comes to a holiday. India में आज भी लोग overseas जाते हैं, जबकि India में it's a very long coastal line. Lot of entertainment industry and resorts can be created with the technology joint ventures between US and India. Can give it a thought on that. Another area of concentration, which is probably of prime importance, is the healthcare. With so much of importance given in health industry by Indian government, from 140 billion US dollars in 2016 to $372 billion health industry will be by 2022. अब आप देख सकते हैं कि क्वांटम जंप कितना ज्यादा इस इंडस्ट्री को इंपॉर्टेंस दी जा रही है. And I would like to highlight a very important point here. Small Business Innovation Research Center, which is SBIR, these are the programs where US gives grant to the joint venture technologies. Small Scale Industry, STTR, is another program which is a federal level innovation research development, जहां पर अगर मार्केट आपके पास ग्लोबली है और आपने जॉइंट वेंचर यूएस में क्रिएट किया है, the government of United States through an R&D division will be able to help you to capture that niche market in order to use the cost benefit analysis or logistics for capturing the supply chain, which is readily available because of innovative techniques that can be incorporated to the existing invention. तो उसमें ये organizations help करती हैं. If you are creating a joint venture with any American company, they will be there beside you in whichever way you want the technology to be there. India and US are also going very well together on the climate change. This is another need of the day. India is the fast emerging global clean energy penthouse. We are very proud to see the hard work that has been done in India. As per 27 November 2020, the latest research says 38% of India's installed electricity generation capacity is from renewable energy sources, which is solar energy, windmills, hydropower plants, and so on. So that shows India is becoming very cautious and is becoming one of the very important country in the world to do this quantum change, where 38% is already being achieved. In 2020, US Agency of International Development, USAID, and the Military New and Renewable Energy have announced the launch of this partnership between USAID, South Asian Group of Energy, and along with that, National Technical Institutes, which is a step towards US-India collaboration. Now for the clean energy. This is what tomorrow holds between US and India. Already the work is going on. They have intentions to work together in a big way. And I would be very much keen that the SAGE, which is US-India Government Consortium, that will be advanced and technical knowledge on clean energy development, which is by the US Department of Energy and National Laboratories, which is going to be conducted. And the plan that India and US doing together is a name given as India Strategic Energy Partnership, SEP. And there is a lot of future for SAGE to contribute significantly towards achieving this goal, where the government is keen to work together, even in Indo-Pacific vision for South Asia, which is the US-India strategic partnership in this field also. So there is a lot of technology transfer that will be working. A lot of people would be like India and US will be working jointly together in this field, and there is a lot of future waiting in this industry, joining hands where you can also concentrate on participation. In the end, I would like to say some of very important remarks before I close my session. Investment opportunities at a very macro level, that is where I have tried to discuss. My question to investor would be, it is very important to understand why you want to invest and where you want to invest. It can be the students who can avail the Fulbright scholarship when it comes to climate change or data scientists or digital technology, or to the drones and other digital security, or it can be investing in United States for the technology that can go to India, or it can be real estate or other areas where you want to have your holiday second home, or along with that, think about the technologies that India is ready to absorb for the next generation of yours. So a lot of interactive sessions on one-to-one are the need of tomorrow. You can visit US and visit these technologies that you feel they're conducive to your requirement. USIC is there to support you. And in the end, we have got these details which you can write an email. Agar aapke paas kuch project proposal nahi bhi hai, so you can just send your phone number. Someone will contact you और आपसे बात करके एक नतीजे पे, एक सारांश पे पहुंचेंगे और आपसे ये पूछ सकेंगे कि आप क्या चाहते हैं और कैसे करना चाहते हैं. Based on that, we'll be able to satisfy you with the questions that you have, ताकि आपकी apprehensions को हम दूर कर सकें. So this is at a general level that I wanted to say what are the scope, what is the future. With this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you for your time. Stay safe. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Talwar. That was a very, very interesting speech and a very beautiful presentation. It was highly enlightening, and we really, really appreciate that. Now, I would like to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Padmeen Buch. Mr. Buch is a B.Pharm and an MBA, and also holds a PG diploma in patents law from Nalsar University of Hyderabad. He's a senior IP domain expert and is also a project and management advisor. He holds about 30 years combined experience of intellectual property rights, corporate industry, entrepreneurship, and startup. In the IPR domain, he is recognized as one of the national experts and is associated with corporate industry, government, and also academic institutions. As the managing director of JITCO, he established their patent cell. As the chief advisor of IPR at Gujarat Technological University, he is credited with creating very active IPR culture in more than 70 degree engineering and 50 degree pharmacy colleges in the Gujarat state. Mr. Buch played a vital role as the key member of the IPR panel for Student Startup and Innovation Policy SSIP of Government of Gujarat. Towards this, he's invited as a mentor for SSIP at the several reputed institutions here in Gujarat. He's also invited as a speaker at national and international conferences on IPR all over the country, as well as certain abroad as well. Mr. Buch is on the board of various leading corporate institutions and has traveled to various countries across the globe on official work and assignments. I would now request Mr. Buch to present his speech. Sir, your mic is on mute. Mr. Buch, sir.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Yula, for the kind words. Mr. Yula is a very nice person. वो अच्छा ही बोलता है. जो बोला वो मानना जरूरी नहीं, क्योंकि वो सब मैंने ही दिया है. तो मैं तो अब वही बोलूँगा जो मेरे लिए अच्छा है. But anyway, the great pleasure to be part of this forum. And after Dr. Bela Tarwar's opening betting, I am not sure what I am going to do. Whether I have to bet like a Pujara or a Rishabh Pant. But thank you for giving me this opportunity, particularly Dr. Rajesh Bhai and the USIIC, Mr. Pillai also. Look, I also have a presentation I am going to share. I am very happy that Dr. Bela Talwar gave excellent background, because she is in USA and she knows it inside out. And her background is so important to understand a particular country where you want to invest. Okay, USA, we believe we know USA, but it's not always like that. When you have to invest in USA, or any country, you have to know the basic background, what it entails, what it expects, and what you should expect. So I'm happy that she has given a very big background. A few points what she has mentioned, for example, Ayurvedic, I am also going to emphasize upon. That is the key area, according to me, for entrepreneurs from Gujarat and India to emphasize upon. She gave very right example of castor oil. Similar examples are also there for value addition. So I would like to share my screen. Mr. Masula, is it visible?
Yes, it is, sir. We can see it.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So business opportunities in USA are a very vast subject. As Dr. Bela Talwar said, we have to start it. It is good that we have started it. This will have to be continued, I would say so. It will be continued in a different forums and at different modes, at different levels. This will have to be continued. The idea is this is a kind of seeding, but we'll have to work out a mechanism wherein we invite people from India, and particularly MSME. In fact, my presentation and my talk is going to be more for MSMEs, what we call small industries, basically. No, it's a big fraternity in India, which has a lot of potential to go into a country like USA, set up their base, and do well for both the countries. But it is not happening, because this is an inherent kind of hesitation कि USA तो बहुत बड़ा country है, highly advanced country है, technologically advanced country है. Whoever goes, they go only by way of their cousins and relatives in USA. उसमें से try करते हैं. But there is much more which can be do, and I am sure USIIC is a great forum to dispel those hesitation, dispel that kind of inhibition, and one can go further. So that's basically idea. Of course, I am a PR man, so I always put these slides. Okay, I would just like to show this particular thing. This is the background which I would like to say. Select USA Investment Summit. What this photograph is about? This is an annual feature actually, and this photograph is about 3 years back, maybe 3-4 years back, where President Obama. So you can understand it's a 4-year back. Naturally, this was last year. Mr. President Obama gave the keynote speech. This was in Washington Hilton in Washington DC, and apart from Mr. Obama and there are other gentlemen, there was one more gentleman also I would like to show. This gentleman is also there in Select USA conference, and I went on behalf of the USIIC delegation led by Mr. Jagessa at that time, and I also gave a few presentations in different subcommittees. This was a start of my association with USIIC. And at that time, after coming back, I had requested Dr. Rajesh Bhai Acharya, you can please join USIIC. And I'm happy that he has joined. He has not only joined, but he is taking USIIC further. So, and this is also the forum where I realized that United States offers a lot of opportunities for people from India, entrepreneurs from India, small and medium enterprises. Okay. We also have several meetings. This is Ms. Rini Sandhu. At that time, she was the ambassador in USA, sitting at Washington. This was also another point which I realized, that it is the diplomacy, the bureaucrat people who are interested in furthering businesses from India to US. And that was a change over taking place. And this is continuing, my dear friend. Okay, export or perish. This is a message I want to give it to the people who might be directly or indirectly involved in this webinar. People who are looking towards to go into internship business. You cannot survive without export now. In fact, you can survive, you can revive, and you can grow. Export. What are the global trends? This is important to know where India is located geographically. In internship business, this is always a factor. Let me tell you, you cannot simply ignore it. You can do anywhere. No, it is not easy. India's main internship business has been over a period of time, particularly last 5 years, deliberately, in fact, is more towards the countries which are nearby. It is easy logistically, it is easy culture-wise, it is easy in terms of understanding each other. Nothing wrong with that. That is India's foreign policy in terms of the trade. There is a definite emphasis on that. But USA is one country which is, we are very greatly culturally linked. So there, the distance, the factor of distance is nullified. Let me tell you, USA is one country where we can go and we can be comfortable. It's a fact. And that is also very important for a small scale entrepreneur to go to any country outside India and set up the base. This has to be taken into account. Okay. India for USA has always been a major trading partner. In terms of the volume, Dr. Bela Tarwar gave some very nice, very perfect figures. And the volume, it may not be very big if you consider both India and USA. But the fact remains that USA has been a major trading partner for India among all the countries. This also has to be taken. The two great democratic countries, the two great entrepreneur countries, and the two countries which have something very common in mind, they both work straight forward manner. These are, of course, as Dr. Bela Tarwar gave, some of the figures of US-India business relationship. The basic point is that it is good business. It can be much, much better. This slide is important. US-India trade in services. We are not a country, we are not an entrepreneur which can invest very heavily, particularly standards of the USA. But we are a country having a great leverage in terms of providing services. Intellectual capital we are holding, and services sector is something we should definitely look for. I'm going to concentrate a little bit more on services sector. So so there's hesitation in terms of, अरे इतना बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट हम कैसे डाल सकते हैं, कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना हम नहीं कर सकते हैं, yeah, but you can invest in terms of your intellectual property, services, which United States is looking forward to. This is the typical the components of the main imports and exports from United States. If you can see, these are the major factors. This fuel, which are the India export, and imports, precious metals, fuel. India is importing fuel from USA like anything, all kind of fuel. Okay, and it is going to continue, let me tell you. And so this is the typical scenario as far as India, USA is concerned. Okay, so now let's concentrate on something what we call about today's topic, a land of opportunity, as Dr. Bela Tarwar said, America, business opportunity in USA. Industry sectors, there are very many. I have not picked up certain very standard sectors. Okay, I have picked up drugs and pharmaceuticals, herbals. Why I highlighted? I'm going to talk about little bit more on that. बाकी के लिए मैं ज़्यादा बताने नहीं वाला हूँ. Ceramics. These I have understood by talking to people and my own understanding. Ceramic is a great base. You know, United States is a very typical country. When entire world started utilizing the plastic pouches and plastic sachets for the intravenous fluid in pharmaceutical, United States was the one country which continued to utilize glass bottles. Or continued to use glass bottles. Why? They say we don't believe in plastic pouches. It is a permeability, it's a toxicity, it is a less transparency. We will go for glass bottles. You cannot say no to United States, my dear friend. It is not only because of the size, it is because of their understanding and belief. Okay, so that is where ceramics comes. In the era of plastics and polymers and wood polymers and plastic alloys, United States continues to work on ceramics. They believe it's the basic thing. Food processing is a great potential for United States. Gems and jewelry is we are already doing, but value addition is required. As Dr. Bela Tarwar said, value addition we are missing in gems and jewelry. We are sending semi-processed products. Why can't we set the final product? Okay, but let me talk more about pharmaceuticals and more about herbals. Pharmaceuticals, fine. Yes, Mr. Messula said, yes, my background is pharmaceutical, but because of my JITCO tenure, I have become sub-bandar ka vyapari, Jacob all. But yeah, pharmaceutical. I am also very closely associated with a few pharmaceutical companies. I am on the board of Troika Pharmaceutical, one of the most innovative company, not only in India, outside in the world. I am also closely associated with a company called Acupec Research. It is one of the top class research and testing laboratory. What is I want to emphasize is that you can go for API, active pharmaceutical ingredient, but it is a difficult job, not easy intermediate. Those who are well entrenched, they should look forward to API. But those who want to initiate, they should go for formulations, the final dosage form. Go for therapeutic segments of lifestyle issues. That is the need of the Europe and United States. Cardiovascular, asthmatic, obesity, anti-aging, like skin care, especially anti-aging. You don't believe, but there is a fact. So it is projected to be about $200 billion industry by 2025, and 2025 is not very much away, 4 years only. Now, these are the things we have to look into. I'm just giving us for example. There are what we have to do in a sector like pharmaceutical. We have to look for the slots. As Dr. Bela Talwar said, usage of castor oil to make the eyelashes longer. Now, no, we never know that, but it has a great potential. Okay, I know this Acupec Research Laboratory. They have Dr. Reena Kokani is the main promoter. She has invented a lipstick, what is called AcuLip, a lipstick which is a vitamin B12, hemoglobin, and iron content. All the anemic girls and women, they can utilize the lipstick, which is a purely, totally tested, patent filed and granted. Now this lipstick, most of the women are anemic, particularly in a country like India and Asia. You simply utilize a lipstick, which is a 30 sets of lipstick, and you get the hemoglobin, you get the iron, you get the vitamin B12. Now these are the slots we have to look forward to in a country like United States. You test it, you approve it, never take a chance. But they are looking for it. And biotech. Biotech is a great opportunity for a country like India. United States is looking for biotech of a certain level. Right. Herbal market, as Dr. Bela Talwar said. Herbal is something we are missing a great deal. I don't know why. Country like China is overpowering. We have great biodiversity. Okay. When we went to China, we saw the herbal companies which are as big as Sun Pharmaceuticals Zydus with a total technology and patented. US herbal supplement. Mind you, please, the word being utilized is a herbal supplement, not medicines. All our medicines, what we call medicines, are being sold as a supplement in United States market because they are not tested. They are not undergone the basic clinical trials and testing as per the US FDA. Okay, but herbal supplement in this form is a great market. It was estimated to be the size of US dollar 8.10 billion in the year 2019, and the growth rate is a fantastic growth. Various health benefits associated with the consumption of herbal supplement is increasing its commercial importance. Dr. Bela Talwar would know better, and hence the market is projected to grow optimistically over the next period. And this is the herbal supplement market revenue from one decade, 2015 to 2025, going up, up, and up. Where we are not there, unfortunately. We can be there. We surely can be there. And this is one area I would suggest USIS to take up. Okay. These are the main herbals in the US supplement market. As you know, ginseng. And now, what is ginseng? Ginseng is a Chinese and South Korean and Taiwan product. Okay. If you go to Taiwan and South Korea, the young people move around with a bottle of ginseng liquid. And they sell in USA after refining it, giving value addition. Ginkgo biloba, garlic, joint venture work. I will tell you what are these, for example. Some of the examples. Insulin is shown to improve immunity, blood sugar level, anxiety, inflammation. St. John Worts is a herbal remedy to treat mental health problem. It is also used in the water depression and sometimes seasonal affect disorder. And Ginkgo biloba is an herb used to altitude sickness, cerebral vascular insufficiency, cognitive disorders, dizziness. Now you can understand. These are the supplements people are taking in a huge quantity in a country like United States. They are not medicines, but still they are taking. That is a potential for us. Why we are not there? And there are, of course, peppermint, ginger, soy, and many more. This is what I am suggesting in addition to what is happening in United States. This is our base. Cultivation and processing of species. If you go from in California, if you move around in California, you can see huge garlic farms. I've seen it. You can go there. People purchase garlic by going to California garlic farms. Why? We have enough potential here. Why we go do that? Okay. Nutraceuticals is a big market. I'm talking United States. Okay. Support medicines. Premenopausal, postmenopausal is a big market in United States. A few years back, from Injitco, I had done a study for that. One of the NRIs in USA wanted to go. What is it? Essentially, vitamin B supplement, vitamin B12 supplement. It is being marketed as a PMS and postmenopausal remedies. Skin care, as I already told, skin care is a big market. There could be so many ingredients like aloe vera. Turmeric, as Dr. Vela Talwar said, garlic and ginger base is a huge product. I can tell you, curcumin, which is an extract of turmeric, is being already sold in United States by our own people. What we need is a standardization. Extraction from the herbals, a high technology base, so that it doesn't lose any potentiality. I just talked about last 2 days back when I was talking to one of the major herbal extract manufacturer in Gujarat, in India. He said, yes, I will have to go there, but he is hesitating. United States में बहुत सारा वो procedure करना पड़ेगा, बहुत testing होता है. Why you are afraid? You do it and go for it. Calming remedies. So if you see all these things, these are all supporting. None of them are curative medicines. I am not advocating curative medicine. It is a long way. Support is something which is required in a huge manner, and alternative sources like herbal, Ayurvedic, you can tell it, are the best thing for it. Why we are missing? We are not doing this. We are not doing for standardization. We are not going for prescribed testing. We are not following all stipulated norms. We don't want to do that. मेहनत नहीं करना है. रेडीमेड में जो रॉ मटेरियल बेच castor oil उसका रॉ फॉर्म में बेच देना है. There is another product called Isabgol. Isabgol, world's total requirement of Isabgol, India is selling 80% of it, and most of that comes from Gujarat and Rajasthan. It is sold in a raw form or a semi-processed form. Why we are not selling Isabgol in the final value-added form? उसके लिए टेस्टिंग करवाना पड़ेगा, ट्रायल्स करना पड़ेगा. वो नहीं करना चाहते, वो नहीं चलेगा. Packaging, as Dr. Vela Talwar said, you require to do a standard, foolproof, prescribed manner of packaging. What is wrong with that? There is an institute called Indian Institute of Packaging, Government of India, in Mumbai and now in Ahmedabad also. They will help you all the way. उसमें shortcut क्यों आजमाते हैं आप लोग? Do the packaging as per the requirement. Americans and Bhasia countries, they believe a lot in the packaging. Transparency, everything has to be listed totally on the package, and local tie-up. This is a big thing. Always look for local tie-up. Not अपने, nothing wrong. If अपना cousin है या uncle है, कर सकते हैं. But go for local tie-up, which is a standard local tie-up. Okay, this is important. And finally, before I end, I will say service sector. It's a big sector. Let me tell you, big sector. Dr. Vela Talwar addressed you. A lot of, why I'm saying service sector, because we cannot invest in capital investment, software, healthcare, financial services, IT enabled services. What are they? Healthcare. This is what he's saying. The United States is looking for, elderly people are looking for personalized healthcare services. About just before pandemic, I was in United States, and this time I was in New Jersey and New York area and Washington. Many of my friends have gone into home care. One of my very close friends in New Jersey, New York, is doing a fantastic business in home care. He has so many people subscribe to him. What they want affordable elderly care facilities, virtual doctor company, mobile NMI scan, everything to be supplied to elderly people till the time उनको compulsorily hospital में दाखिल होना पड़े. Till the time compulsory hospitalization is required, everything is provided by this home care people. This is a good opportunity, my dear friend. Yes, you have to be standardized, you have to be approved, you have to be registered, which is always the case in the United States. No shortcuts. It's a great opportunity, my dear friend. Why can't we do this? It is not a capital investment. It's a personalized home care which we can do. Informal techno-enabled service. There are so many small-scale opportunities available. Just says, Dr. Belathar also mentioned about the data, she said about the data analysis. This is huge data. People are bothered, ये data को क्या करेंगे? How to manage the data? Okay, you know, it's a bothersome for everybody. IDC predicts growth to 463 billion GB data created per day by 2025. Okay, this is another slide which is there. What is the problem? People are looking, people are afraid of what? How concerned are you in terms of digital? Almost 60% plus says cyber threats. Another 40% plus said the speed and technology changes are taking place, we may not be able to cope with that. Can a small scale entrepreneur from India help? Yes, there is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity gap. Niche slots. These are the things which we are suggest. Artificial implementation company for small scale people. Custom content creation for all services. Digital and cyber security consultancy operating agency for the people or the companies in the United States which are not giants. They are looking forward to this. E-commerce distribution center for small business. Now what is that, for example? Like this is e-commerce distribution center for small business. E-commerce in USA grew fantastically. Everybody knows that. However, the huge presence of a giant like Amazon.com creates tough competition for small businesses. The business idea which is being proposed here would help fix that by creating a service where small scale businesses can have their products shipped to for storage and distribution. A viable, reasonable, cost-effective alternative. With the market set to grow further, this idea is definitely one to watch for. Lean data collection software, augmented reality analytical software, even utilizing of the new technologies like blockchain for real estate time management. My dear friends, and there are, I can list another 10 also. These are the opportunities waiting for our people. Okay. Another thing, school of the future. What is school of the future? Making people trained and aware and ready with the technologies which are coming thick and fast. The school of the future idea would be private schools teaching people the skills they need to compete and operate with the artificial intelligence and all such kind of components which are related to Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. And this slide shows what is happening. A simple teaching school having huge potential. Okay, I will conclude by saying that whenever any entrepreneur from a country like India wants to cross over to other country, including United States, it is important to understand what is happening in that country. And Dr. Belathar gave an excellent background to that. These parameters are called global trade environment factors. Even a country like USA, we know as a country which where our cousins and uncles are staying. We have to know as an investment destination. These are the kind of parameters: the economic, political, socio-cultural, legal, technological, competitive. We have to understand that. We have to understand these parameters. While we are suggesting the opportunities, that doesn't mean you can simply go there. You have to understand that, study it, and it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. And then you can take a decision. The United States, when I went to there, there the individual states are competing, you know. When I went to Sylhet, USA, the Georgia state and Florida state and Ohio state and all the states where I used to come. I still get email from them. Okay, please come to our state. It's a federal country. So you understand that all this time, how difficult. And for that, as already been told, please contact USIIC, including US chapter. They are there, we are there to help you all the way. Understand the USA as an investment country and go for it. It's waiting for you. Thank you so much. Okay, it's a great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Butch. That was a very, very interesting, entertaining presentation. And I must say that you look far better than Barack Obama ever will.
Thank you. Okay.
So now I would like to present our next speaker, Mr. Bhaskar Gawai. Mr. Gawai is a senior management professional for over 40 years of multi-sector and multi-function experience in delivering optimal contribution and business value and competitive environment in areas of corporate planning, business intelligence, project management, talent management, policy studies, and CSR, corporate social responsibility. The corporate sectors that he has served include healthcare, drug manufacturing, and hospitals, banks, state and industrial promotion organizations in project financing and industrial estate township. I would request Mr. Gawai to give his speech.
Thank you, Mr. Bengalurwala, for a good introduction. You know, I'm sorry, I don't have slides which I could do, but because of the short of time, I have not done it. So I'll speak out the things. First of all, my roaring regards to Rajesh Bhai for pushing me to this activity and this seminar. It's the first experience to me for webinar, and it has become a platform for introduction with two dignitaries, Mr. Pillai and Bela Talwar, and the igniting, I would say, igniting the intimacy with Padmin. So thanks to Rajesh Bhai for that. You know, everybody, the presentation up till which was given, it was concentrated on the opportunities, identifying the opportunities. I don't think that there will be somebody or anybody in India who does not know the opportunities available in America. At least it is true for Gujarat. So I am speaking on a different angle because I was knowing that Padmin is there, so healthcare sector will come. And my more exposure on patents and the management side on healthcare side, a sort of a combination of both pharmaceutical as well as hospital. So even on Ayurveda, Padmin must be knowing that we have done a lot of work on castor in Jitco and turmeric. So all these things are there somewhere in India. People know that what are the opportunities available in USA. So I am going from the different angle that why these opportunities are not being exploited or used. What are the reasons for that? So I will look from the bird eye view point of view for the entire subject. That is a different dimension of looking at the thing and looking at home. So I would put it in this way, that an opportunity, business or development, economic or social, is governed by two factors which our epic says, sthala and kala, place and time. I'm adding one more, now dimension, and that is jnana. because now this is a knowledge economy. So I'm adding that jnana and considering the entire gamut in these 3 dimensions. So I'm looking from that point of view in this way. Now, an opportunity in simple term, it's a gap. You have to find out a gap, fill it, and that's an opportunity. So, but as far as USA is concerned, the gap is not between demand and supply. The gap goes further, and it has to synchronize with the beliefs and behavior of the consumers, which is volatile and changing at each stage of competition. So the crux of the entire thing is coming to the belief and behavior part. And the competition in business environment, such exercise will also scan and focus on issues like new market niches, potential threats, areas of R&D and innovations, and arrive at actionable insight to business planning and strategies. Let us look at a supply side, because the demand side is sure, it is proven, evidence-based that US needs the intelligent as well as product. So let us look at from the supply side point of view, that is Indian entrepreneurs' point of view. The major attention has to be there also in SME sector rather than large sector. So everybody has given the concentration on SME sector. So I'm also concentrating with that. At present, these statistics have been given. At present, only 1.26 lakhs SMEs are contributing to the export out of 650 lakh SMEs. Now 99% are micro units. So there are only SME units is 1.26 lakhs, which are contributing to the export, and that is 48% export of gross value added of 32%. Now the barriers of this export are many, such as lack or short of knowledge on the side of entrepreneurs, ways and means of approaching the export opportunities, documentation, formality, regulations, SOPs, these are also missing on the entrepreneur side of India, and incentives available, sourcing of finance export, competition. So these are the broad, lacunae in the knowledge of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur knows, but how to expose. So the contribution of our SME is considered as a gate for the growth, or the Ecuador space in terms of it is a priority, SME sector. Even USA consider small business are important. So small is beautiful and big is a grateful. This philosophy is accepted by India as well as USA because they are generating the employment at a lower cost of investment and spatial spread, that is regional balance of the development, and the small sector act as a school of innovation and entrepreneurship. So these are the advantage of a SME sector, and that's why SME sector will definitely get the priority either in USA or inside. Now, the opportunities in USA for India are still stretchable and enough wide, but exorbitant deep too. Deep, I say, in terms of the normal requirement. So what are these? Both countries accept this, and they have categorized. I have categorized to consider those reasons in two categories. One is ethnic advantage to the entrepreneurs of India, which more or less stated, like, the 2 or 3 points which have not been mentioned, I will take that the 2020 Forbes list carries 8 Indian businessmen among 400 wealthiest persons of USA. So there are an Indian environment, and an old study estimates that 30 to 40% of Indian origin people are employers in India, in USA. So these are the ethnic environment for Indian entrepreneur. Now, what are these business environment? In business environment, if I consider, so chances are not ruled out of the USA seeking a new supply chain as an option to China now. That is a very important point. USA companies look at India as manufacturing base. 2 examples I have seen, like I will say that, pollination by bees. Now this concept is not there in India at all. We are using the bees for the honey. We are not using the bees for pollination. Now, for controlling the pollination, the electronic device has been patented in USA, but the manufacturing is in India at Bangalore. So the US entrepreneurs are looking at for certain things in India to Indian environment. This is the company, is a small company now in USA. And the small entrepreneur in Bangalore is providing the electronic devices which will control the movement of the bees in the farm. And this is why the pollination takes place, and it is a $500 million market of pollination. Now, when I contacted the agriculture and agriculture experts in India, the concept is not there at all in India for this. And that's a new concept. Even I think this government has provided in budget last year for this objective. It is 0 rupees used because nobody has this concept. So this sort of, the USA entrepreneurs are looking also at a manufacturing facility there, as we are looking at a market over here. So this is also possible. And, what is required then at Indian level? I have mentioned that now some forward thinking is there. Now FDI is allowed in India in SME sector. So that's the plus point. Now government scheme of identifying or helping the policy compliant and the good record entrepreneurs in equity. So government is ready to invest in the equity also. So that benefit also to be exploited by the SME sector. So now what is to be done by entrepreneur? From their side, to achieve this market, to master this market, entrepreneur of India has to do something. What is that? The upskilling, first of all, and reskilling. That is the fundamental thing, because particularly technically they must be well enriched, but US business culture, spoken English, business communication, business specific manners, technical training. So these things also, the entrepreneur has to concentrate on that. Now, they are away from all these things. And in India, see, हमारे यहाँ चालसे का culture बहुत है, चलेगा. I have seen one unit, organic pesticide unit in Ahmedabad. He has kept the board in the entire organization, everywhere, office and the problem. चालसे ने भगाओ. No चालसे in this platform. So we have to leave that चालसे culture. And another thing that USA believes everywhere, documentation and SOPs. You know, that is very important in here. Even I went today for a, COVID vaccination. There was a documentation. They are giving us the pamphlet that what benefit you will get from this COVID vaccine, how it is prepared, what are the ingredients. So they are educating the users. In India, if such things, leaflets are given, we will throw it away. So that culture needs to be changed. The entrepreneurs need to be guided for even preparing the marketing literature, which is appealing to the US people. Not only packing, but they have to learn that how to appeal the USA entrepreneurs or USA consumers. In India, हम बाजार में लेके जाएंगे और बोलेंगे कि ये बदल दो, तो बोलेगा नहीं बदलेगा. वहां लिखा हुआ है बेचे लो माल, बदला से नहीं. Here, people take the goods, keep it for 3-4 days, and then also return. And anywhere. If you have purchased in New Jersey and say, return it in Houston, no problem, you can. So the entrepreneur has to take care of the consumer's demand, what consumer needs. So consumer behavior becomes more important. And now I think that the market research should contain 2 things more. That what is consumer behavior rather than the projection in number. The consumer behavior becomes more important, and the hygienic care on the floors of factory. These 2 things has to be added in India first. Then you can look at the Indian markets, American market. And even for the manufacturing in India, the USA entrepreneurs will insist that you have to do this. So documentation, SOP preparations, openness to the consumer conversations, understand the consumers. These things are absolutely lacking in India. And nobody is responsible for that. I'm not criticizing. Because the Professor Vakil in earlier days was a professor of economics, that India is such a country, such a diversified country, that whatever you produce, it can be sold. And that is true. Because the income strata are very heterogeneous. Now it is not that. Rich persons have come in India. That's why their taste is different. So I'm thinking that first of all, we have to understand the beliefs and behavior of the USA consumer. Then you can sell the products. Otherwise, not. And on one side, we are talking about the, Atmanirbharta. Now USA is also talking about Atmanirbharta by Americans. On the other side, WIPO is there, patent is there. So, both are conflicting as such. On one side, you are talking about the self-sufficiency, self-reliancy. On the other side, you are talking about the patentization or the knowledge patentization. Now you have to find out a gap between this. You have to find out a way out, and that is entrepreneurship. And that entrepreneurship needs to be, encouraged in India. They have a courage, even though before 1947, the history says that Gujarati game tyan hato. Gujarati was trading anywhere, Africa, America, England, everywhere. And they were more from the most of the backward district, Kutch or Saurashtra. So the rules, regulations are there, but they are not the obstacles. If you are considering these are the obstacles, then you are not a real entrepreneur. So my approach to convey to the entrepreneurs of India that you have to learn, reskill yourself for the USA market. And those are the inputs which are required over here. So I have looked the entire things because opportunities are there. So demand side is there, pakka. It is proven, evidence-based. What is required from the supply side, that is important, and that needs to be, imbibed in the Indian entrepreneurs. So don't sit in a chair, reskill yourself. Market is there. US is absolutely positive for accepting the Indians and exploit it. So this is my, presentation for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. I, of course, thanks Mr. Gawai very much for his enlightening speech. Even without the slides, it was very, very informative, and we were very much engaged. Especially you changing the language, which is very, very easy for most of us to understand, which was trained started by Dr. Talwar and extended by Mr. Pooch. बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आपका एक बहुत अच्छा presentation. Now we have come to the last session of the webinar, the question answer session. The participants may put their questions in the chat column and may even specify the name of the speaker to whom they would like to direct their questions. Let's see if we have any questions. We don't seem to have any questions from participants. However, I have a question to whoever can answer. What are the challenges any Indian business person or any entrepreneur specifically is looking to encounter once he tries to invest in US, whether it's selling US Indian products to US citizens, or whether doing some form of business within US that stays whatever is being produced or whatever services there, everything is done in US. What sort of challenges an Indian investor would feel if at all they choose to? Yes,
can you tell me the question once again? Very specifically, are you talking about investing in the US by an Indian entrepreneur?
Yes.
And what would be the challenges? Is he investing within industry, or where is he investing?
Let's say he's investing in something which is not produced in India, but it's still operated or traded within the United States. Professional services, for instance, India has been a powerhouse of outsourced services, and professional services among them. Let's say if an investor who is looking forward to extend his company's services to United States citizens, do you think they would encounter any challenges?
Okay, see, since it is a very generalized question, let me explain you. When it comes to investing in the United States, there are prima facie one most important area of concentration is the niche market. US is, as Mr. Vyas said, that very much concentrated on consumer satisfaction. So whenever there is an investment, the pitfall that can come in front of the investor is optimum satisfaction to the consumer. That's A. Number two, to ensure that any government restriction or any norm that is a prerequisite requirement for the business to be operating in the best manner should be maintained. So when there is a service industry or whichever industry, like for example, licensing, like if you're trying to do something without local license or taking care of the tax issues or not forming company properly, so where there is a statutory requirement, there is no concept like, okay, I can do it later. The norms, the rules and regulations where US is very strict about. And one thing I must mention here, which usually Indian investors don't do it, please take advantage of the government services. These offices are so conducive to your requirement. They are there to help you out of the way. And try to go to these organizations. There are counselors sitting there. It's not only me, like we are sitting, of course, to help. But do not take a plunge without taking care of all these requirements. There's the list of documents you can get from the day one. And then understand the market feasibility report before venturing into it. So there are one side, the government regulations, the other side is consumer satisfaction. If these two things are taken care, by and large, you cannot go wrong. And preferably, if you can have a local person, if you are new to the country, and if you can have a collaborator, or you can have a JVC, that would be a good idea to start.
I would just to add to Madam Bela's one very important aspect with our contacts at the US consulate and also my own personal contact with the manufacturing section, with the technology section, especially on the technology and manufacturing section. In addition to what Bela said, is one very important thing is whatever investment you do, whatever you are looking at the opportunities, please keep in mind that we should not take away any of their job.
Correct.
If that is, the lifeline of an opportunity for this one, keep that in mind so that we don't get into an entangled on that subject. I think there's a clear fact that we have to keep in mind that we should not look at duplicating, we should not look at replacement, we should look at add-on.
Very well said, I mean, and then there is a very important aspect that we should understand. For example, USIC, as Mr. Pillai very rightly said, what is USIC? It's a bridge between the two countries. So when we're talking about the bridge, it's a requirement of the bridge to understand the betterment for both the countries. So we try to create win-win situations where both the countries are equally benefited, and that probably is a future for USIC to come to ensure that those kind of goods and services we will be concentrating on.
I see. Well, that absolutely answers my question, and definitely I agree with Mr. Pillai that stealing away somebody's job is not going to be like a very pleasant thing anybody would accept. So yes, definitely we have to find a middle ground, which is like mutually acceptable.
And please pay taxes on time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. And we have another question um, from an attendee. The question is from Prashant Borkar, asking how we can reach out to USIAC for any assistance for a new project within USA.
I have given the email. Please write the brief details about what you intend to do. And even if your project report is not mentioned at length, doesn't matter. You can give your phone number. Someone from our office will contact you and give you the initial talk to understand you. What are you looking? Because usually it is a very broad spectrum. You want to really narrow down what you want to do, and we would definitely help you out from there. So please, the details are already there. If not, I think it can be given again, Mr. If you have got the way to give them the last slide of mine, where all the emails and all details are mentioned. They can even contact India. This one and the same thing. I would get that, and we can go from there.
Absolutely.
And I would like to add that in Mumbai, we have Mr. Pillai, who is the chairman. So
Yes.
you may contact any of our USIC office.
We would look forward to this one, so you can contact us, and we will definitely be an hand holding for any investment or any opportunity, especially on the pharma industry, which is very, very important. And I would say that Indians are very strong in the IT, and next comes in the pharma industry. So Americans, especially the USA, welcomes us in a much better way than other segments.
So there is your answer, Mr. Prashant Borkar. You can reach out to any of the offices using email or phone. You can reach out to the Mumbai office or any other office, and we will definitely be in touch with you and help you out and guide you. So I guess that is all for the questions, and this has been a very, very interactive session, and it's really a very knowledgeable, and I was personally also very much enlightened. Now, Dr. Acharya will propose a vote of thanks, but before he does that, I would like to introduce Dr. Acharya. Dr. Acharya is the president of USIAC US chapter. He's a patent and trademarks attorney and provides comprehensive as well as strategic advice to both Indian and international clients. He has an extensive background in prosecution and litigation of intellectual property related matters. He has been a speaker at numerous Indian and international seminars, and many of his research papers and articles have been published in international as well as Indian research journals and magazines. I request Dr. Acharya to propose his vote of thanks.
So first of all, I don't know what should I tell. Good morning or good afternoon. So I'll tell good time, whatever it is over there. So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Pillai, who is the chairman and founding director of USIAC. So he's always helping US and Indian industries. And also whenever we want to do any webinar or any activity, he's always there with us, full-hearted. So I thank you very much, Mr. Pillai, for your very good support. I would also like to thank Dr. Talwar for his wonderful speech. So basically, he's a professor, so he analyzed the things in such a way that we get the knowledge. It is wonderful. And also Mr. Gawai, he's in US, and actually it happened that he was in LinkedIn and contacted me 3 days back. So I told him that, okay, before talking anything else, you will be our speaker, and he readily agreed. So I'm thankful, Mr. Gawai, for this. I always also thank Mr. Padmin Babuch, who is always with us since more than 20 years for this all webinar and seminars and everything. So about this webinar, I would like to tell that business opportunities in the US. There was one Gujarati film, Kevi Rite Jaish, How Will You Go to US? It was a wonderful film. and then there was a green card fever. So we always think that the US is a land of opportunity, as it is told by all the speakers. And I'll like to tell you that India, we Indian people are very, very intelligent people. When the world need the doctors, we provided the doctors throughout the world, including US. When they wanted software people, India provided software people. Now, when they want to have clinical trials to pharma industries in US, which requires very high level of intellect, so India is providing clinical trials. Ayurveda also, as mentioned by all the speakers, turmeric, which is rather very, very not very expensive in India. I have seen the turmeric capsules of 1 gram sold at $1 in US, as well as there's Isabgol, Indian product in 100 gram bottles in US is available in $20. In Isabgol, it is available particularly in Gujarat at very, very, very low price. So there are, and also I'm traveling to US for more than 20 years and spending about half of my time in US. So, and traveling a lot, almost 20 days in a month in US and 10 days in India. So keeping this exercise for more than 20 years, I didn't find much difference between India and US. But what is required in US, that it is, in US I found that there is advanced planning for everything, every business. They do planning in advance and then they perform it. Where we are lacking, it is advanced planning rather. And as it is mentioned by Mr. Gawai, chalega. It is not there in US. US government is very, very transparent government, I'll tell you. Very transparent, very fast. They trust you also when you provide any document. They trust you 100%. But if you do something wrong, then they will not leave you. So when we are planning to have business in US, we should be very particular. And when we can do the clinical trial here, then we can provide the pharmaceutical goods also over there. There is a little bit hesitation here or there that we have to remove it from the base, because it's seen in particular in Gujarat, people want to go to US, and one village in Gujarat, more than 90% houses are closed because 90% people of that village are in US. They are in either the motels, it is a rather, I'll say that it is a little bit different word than Patels. Patels are very common. So Patels are models, it is rather confusing things. But nowadays, both the great democracies of the world, they need each other very well. Because both the government is having transparent policies and they want each other badly in the business at least. So this is a very right time to go to US, to have the, there are a lot of opportunities waiting in US. Government is also very helping. So we should take the advantage from, Indian industry should take advantage of this US government policy. And we plan that in near future, we would like to have the webinar with US different industries also from different states on this platform. And with this, I thank you again, all the speakers for their very, very impressive speech and presentation, and also the audience for their supports and attending this, and they will be benefited rather. So thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Acharya, and we look forward to the next one of yours, from your stable, which is always encouraging. And all the best, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Bella. Thank you, Gawai sir and Padman Books and Mashallah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great pleasure.
I would like to add one thing. I think Mr. Gawai and Dr. Talwar, I think they are not in US, they are in India. They look very fresh at midnight.
Thank you. That is because of your
Thank you.
encouragement.
Encouragement.
And also masala tea.
Thank you, Mr. Phil. Because
Bye.
of your encouragement that we are offered.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye, everybody.
We come to a close of this webinar, and it's been an excellent event with overwhelming response from the viewers, and this is going to encourage all of us to keep holding more of such webinars and boost their agenda of business opportunities in the United States. So thank you.
Please send a copy of the recording for our.
Right. So once again, thank you so much, all the speakers, and you all have a great day and night for those who are in US.
Bye-bye.
Right. Okay. Bye.